Some moments change your life forever. They don't arrive with thunder or flashing lights. They come quietly, disguised as an ordinary afternoon, carrying words that can either heal your heart or shatter it forever. I had rehearsed those words 1,000 times in my mind, yet when I finally stood in front of her beneath the warm afternoon sunlight, my heartbeat was louder than my own voice. I truly believed I was about to lose the person who meant everything to me. But nothing could have prepared me for the sentence she whispered with tears in her eyes. "Why didn't you say sooner?" Before we continue, if you believe kindness, patience, and second chances can change lives, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share this story with someone you care about, and subscribe to Midnight Tales for more emotional stories that stay with you long after they end. The afternoon sun poured through the windows of the lakeside cabin where our friends had gathered for a weekend celebration. Everyone laughed, grilled food, and took pictures while soft summer breezes drifted through the pine trees. Yet despite the cheerful atmosphere, my mind was trapped inside years of unspoken emotions. My name was Rowan, and for nearly 4 years I had secretly loved Mara. She wasn't just beautiful, she possessed the rare ability to make every person around her feel important. She remembered birthdays, encouraged strangers, helped elderly neighbors without expecting anything in return, and somehow made difficult days seem lighter with nothing more than her smile. We had become close friends almost by accident after working together at a local community center. Every afternoon was filled with conversations about dreams, childhood memories, favorite books, and endless cups of coffee. The more time we spent together, the more impossible it became to ignore what my heart already knew. But fear is powerful. Every time I wanted to tell her how I felt, another voice reminded me that losing her friendship would hurt far more than keeping my feelings hidden. So I convinced myself silence was safer. Months became years. During that time I watched opportunities quietly slip away. Friends constantly assumed we were already a couple because of how naturally we understood each other. We laughed at the same jokes before they were even finished, noticed when something was bothering the other, and somehow always ended up sitting beside one another. People smiled knowingly whenever they saw us together, while I forced myself to pretend there was nothing more than friendship between us. Then everything changed one sunny Tuesday afternoon. Mara casually mentioned that she had accepted a job in another city. It was an incredible opportunity she had dreamed about for years, and everyone congratulated her. I smiled too, but inside, my world felt like it had collapsed. She would be leaving in only 3 weeks. Suddenly, every excuse I had ever made disappeared. Either I confessed my feelings now or carried the regret for the rest of my life. Those 3 weeks became the longest days I had ever lived. Every morning I promised myself today would be the day. Every evening I returned home disappointed in my own cowardice. I practiced speeches while driving, while showering, while staring at the ceiling late at night. None of them ever seemed good enough. The day before she was scheduled to leave, our friends organized one final afternoon gathering at the cabin beside the lake. The weather was bright, children played nearby, birds sang through the trees, and everything looked painfully beautiful. I realized life would never give me a more perfect chance. As the afternoon slowly faded, Mara stepped away from the group and walked toward the wooden dock overlooking the sparkling water. My legs felt unbelievably heavy, yet somehow I found myself following her. Every heartbeat echoed inside my chest as though it wanted to stop me from speaking. She smiled warmly when she noticed me approaching. We stood quietly for several moments, watching gentle waves ripple across the lake. I could barely breathe. My hands trembled so much I hid them inside my pockets. For years I had imagined this conversation ending in heartbreak. I expected awkward silence, polite rejection, maybe even the end of our friendship. Still, I knew regret would hurt more than rejection. Taking the deepest breath of my life, I finally admitted everything I had buried for so long. I told her that somewhere between our coffee conversations, volunteer work, and countless shared sunsets, she had quietly become the most important person in my life. I confessed that every goodbye had become harder because I wanted every meeting to last forever. I admitted I had loved her for years but had been terrified of losing her. She stared at me without speaking. For one unbearable moment, I believed I had made the biggest mistake of my life. Then I noticed tears filling her eyes. A small smile appeared across her face before she softly asked the question that completely changed everything. "Why didn't you say sooner?" The world seemed to stop moving. She confessed that she had been waiting almost as long as I had. She believed I only saw her as a close friend because I had never crossed that invisible line. She had almost admitted her own feelings several times but feared making our friendship uncomfortable. Eventually, convinced I would never feel the same, she accepted the job hoping distance would help her move on. Years of silence had nearly stolen the happiness we both wanted. Neither of us could stop laughing through our tears as we realized how fear had trapped two hearts that had loved each other all along. The answer we had both searched for had been waiting between